Hi everyone. In this video I want to show you how to navigate the D2L Classroom or your online class so that you get the most out of this resource. So this is the way that your class would come up. This is the first thing that you would see. Notice in the center column here there is a section called News. These are basically announcements that your instructor will post to keep you updated on what you need to know for the class. And at this point in time, and this is actually a class that is in progress, I have two announcements. I have one on the live chat that tells you when I'm having a live chat each week and how to get to that live chat. In addition, I will have each week a welcome to the week, and in that I will discuss the topics that you learned about last week, and I will give you a preview of the topics that you're supposed to learn about in the current week. And then at the bottom you will see a list of your assignments for the week. So this is a good way to keep up with the assignments that are due for any given week. Now remember that the online class starts with day 1 on Monday and ends on Sunday. So that means that all of your assignments are due at 11:59 each Sunday evening. So be aware of that. So if we go back up and look at the way that your classroom looks, what I would suggest you do, and a lot of this is what you should do the first time you go into the classroom, but I would click on Content. Now, what we want to do is we want to click on the Start Here. So at Start Here, you have a number of items that you need to know at the very beginning of the class. For example, I have a welcome note to you, and in that welcome note, if we look at it just a second, you will see that I have some information about the class, that it's totally online, and then I have a information on contacting me. I have my office phone number, my cell phone number, the office hours when I am on the Dahlonega campus, and then I also have a listing of when I am available for Skype. So you can do that. And then in addition, I have a list at the bottom here of what you should do first when you come into the classroom. So that's very useful information. Now, let's talk about how you navigate and get back to where you want to go. Notice there's topics here at the top of the page, and it's called breadcrumbs because what happens is it keeps track of every place that you go, and you can go back to any particular section. So you'll notice that I'm at the welcome page. I want to go back to Start Here. So I just click on Start Here and it takes me back. And it takes me back that one step. So notice that I also have the syllabus, and you do have a syllabus quiz the first week of class. So you will want to read the syllabus and take notes. There is also a schedule, and let's look at that briefly. The schedule is a listing of the dates for each given week and a lesson number. And there are a total of 15 lessons in the class. Generally, each lesson will be a week, but not always. So just note the dates for the week. Now, this is, again, a class in progress, and that date will change depending upon what semester you are in. The important thing about this is to note that it gives you the dates, the lesson, the textbook sections that are covered in that lesson, and your WebAssign assignments for that week. So that's all important information to have. And what you might want to do is actually print or download this schedule so that you can keep up with it. Again, I'm going to follow my breadcrumb back to Start Here. And there's a lot of other things in this Start Here section. There are guidelines, which gives you the information in order to follow the etiquette that you're supposed to use online. There's understand the technology required. For example, what do I need to do in order to do the class online? Then there is a tremendous list of student resources. So you would want to go through and look at all of those. One in particular is how to get your books and the UNG help desk in case you have trouble. Also, we provide smart thinking online tutoring, so you would want to look at that and see how you would connect to that. There's also tutoring available through UNG, and you're told how to do that. Now, Blackboard Collaborate is the online chat capability. So each week when I have an online chat, you would come here and follow the information that you need to get to the chat. Then there are 3 required activities in addition to the homework on WebAssign that are due the first week of class. One is that you have to do an introduction, which is introduce yourself to the other members of the class and to me. Then there is also a syllabus review quiz, so that's why I suggested that you take notes when you read through the syllabus. And then there is an email activity. All of the communication between you and me should be done using email within D2L. And this is just an activity that says, email me so that you understand how to use that email. So there are all of the start here information. Now what I want to do is I want to actually go into a lesson. And the lessons are divided up into 5 modules, which correlate to the 5 chapters that we take out of the textbook. So I'm just going to go to lesson 2 to show you how that works. Now, notice on the left-hand side, here's lesson 2, and I have 4 topics divided up under lesson 2. We talk about graphs of functions, the slope of a line, finding equations of a line, and special types of lines. Now, notice that if you look at the right-hand side of this page, you will see all of that information at one time. So if we kind of scan through, you'll see, first of all, there are student outcomes, also called learning objectives. This tells you what you should know at the end of this lesson. So if you look at that, you should see what is important for you to understand. Then we have the assignments that are due. I'm going to click on this to show you what that looks like. You will see the reading assignments from the textbook. You will see the homework and quiz assignments from WebAssign. And there is also a link here where you can actually click and it will take you to WebAssign. So again, I'm going to follow my breadcrumbs and I want to go back to lesson 2. Now, we have all of the 4 subtopics in lesson 4 displayed at one time on the screen. If you don't like your screen that way, you could click on just one topic and it will bring up just the pieces for that particular topic. Now, each lesson is subdivided. Each one of those subdivisions has information on that topic. So, for example, here is, let's do finding equations of a line. Alright, so if you look at the symbols that are the little green symbols, those are web pages. And I call those content pages because those give you information about the topic. So let's just click on one. So here is the equation of a line in point-slope form. So this tells you what point-slope form is, and it gives you an example. So you can go through and look and read and work through that example. And when you're done, scroll back up to the page and follow your breadcrumbs. So the last one is the page that we are on. If we want to go back just to the previous page, just click back one level. Now, I will warn you that what D2L does not like the back button for your web browser. So always use your breadcrumb to navigate. So in this particular topic, you will see there are two content web pages. There is a PowerPoint presentation that actually comes from your textbook publisher. So it will have some additional information, content information, and examples. Then in this particular section, I have 3 videos. And those videos, if you are a visual learner, are worth their weight in gold because they help you to see the concepts. And I will have several different presenters. I use Khan Academy, and I use a professor from Phoenix College called Sousa. They give very good information on the topics. Now, it is important to note that each lesson has subdivisions. Each subdivision has basically what you see here, and that is content pages, a PowerPoint presentation, and videos. I recommend that early in the week you start going through this information and take notes as you go through so that when you get ready to do your web assignments, you know how to do it. So that's basically how all of the lessons are set up. So now let's go to discussions. Now I'm going to go back to a full display of Lesson 2. And if we scroll all the way down, past all of the subsections, you will see Lesson 2 discussion. There are 2 ways for you to access the discussion. You can click on Lesson 2 discussion within the lesson itself, and you would say, start a new thread in order for you to give your solution to this particular problem. Or you can go to the top of your toolbar and click on discussions. Now I'm going to actually talk about a couple things before we get to that Lesson 2 discussion. But one of the things that you will find in the discussion list is frequently asked questions. Right now I have an answer to a question about the textbook and about WebAssign. Then if we go down, we have a general discussion area for the students. If you want to just post something that for other students, you could post there. Then we have the required activity, the introductions. Remember I talked about that under the required activities for week 1. So this is where you would go. You would click on the required activity introductions line, and it will bring up then a place for you to enter your discussion. Then I have Ask the Instructor. And so you can ask me a question. If you don't understand something, you can post the question here. And I also have my office hours and all of that information repeated. Then we have the Student Lounge. The Student Lounge is where you just talk to other students. If you have a question that you want to ask the other students, you can do that here. Now, here are the lesson discussions. And there is a general introduction to these lesson discussions. And there are 15, so basically there's a discussion each week. It counts 5% of your final grade. And here is how you will be graded. This is called the grading rubric. So you are required to post your solution to a problem, and it needs to be correct, and it needs to have an explanation of how you got that answer, and then you need to respond to it at least 2 other people. It could be both two students, or it could be a student and respond to me. And so basically you get 10 points each week, and I grade those usually on Monday and Tuesday. Then here is, let's scroll down to the week 2 discussion. So here is the information that you would have seen on week 2, but you can also click here on the actual topic name and go down, and it'll give you the information, and it will also allow you to start a new thread. So that's how the discussions work. Now let's talk a little bit about grades. There are grades listed in both WebAssign and D2L. Now, WebAssign, if you look at your grades in WebAssign, it will give you the letter grade that you have earned thus far. But it does not include the discussion grades, because those are done in D2L. D2L includes everything. Now, you'll see I've been a slacker and I have not done any assignments, so I am way behind. However, what you can see is that you would get a grade here for the week 1 discussion. Now, the week 1 discussion is worth 10 points, but because the participation is 5% of the final grade, each one is 0.33. So you can see how many points out of that 0.33 you have. Then what I do for the homework and quiz and the test from WebAssign, I actually input manually the average that you have at any point in time. So you would see, again, these are based on percentages. So the WebAssign homework and quiz is 25%. So at the end, you would have a total of 25 points. But you can actually see how many points that you have gathered up until that time. I think that's everything that you need to know in order to be able to navigate the classroom and to be able to get everything out of it that you can. Remember also that there are some resources on WebAssign, and I do have some documents posted in the lesson 1 that tells you about that. So good luck, and let me know if you need any help. Thank you.